Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about three things that I had to stop stressing about in my diet. And the first one is sugar. And when I was a kid, I loved sugar. Jelly beans, Mountain Dew, cookies, anything with a lot of sugar I loved. And when I was 13 and I knew that I really wanted to get a bit smaller so I could be the cheerleader on top of the pyramid, I stopped eating as much candy. And that was a no-brainer. And I felt better and looked a little better, but I also started working at Life Cafe and Lifetime Fitness, and all these young women were coming in asking for protein shakes, and they would always say, "Oh, don't put the whole banana in there. Don't eat, I only want half an apple or just a tiny bit of blueberries. I can't do the sugar. I can't do the sugar." And I started thinking to myself, should I not eat sugar too? Is there something bad about that? You know, my grandparents, my mom, everyone in my family ate bananas and apples and blueberries, and so I started to kind of worry about it. And conversely, there were bodybuilders coming into the cafe chugging honey right after they lifted. So you could see why I would be really confused because they were lean and strong and eating honey. So I started kind of looking into it and reading about it and understanding the fact that sugars are carbs and that I didn't want to eat too many carbs. And lo and behold, I just started eating 2 fruits a day. That was my maximum. I'd have an apple or banana, and honestly, I still eat that way. But back then, that's kind of where it started. And by the time I got to college, I was starting to feel a little bit scared of fruit. You know, I would eat bananas, but I would, eat, that was it, one banana a day. And as the paleo craze picked up more and more, I thought I couldn't eat fruit. And I thought fruit was what was making me fat. And I was eating tons and tons of coconut oil and olive oil and all these things, and I wasn't really losing weight, and I was rather feeling like every day was a struggle of please don't get fat, please don't gain weight, which is really not a happy way to live. And so obviously I've found a point of moderation where I eat the 2 fruits I eat a day because I like apples and I like bananas. And if there's a seasonal fruit like blueberries or raspberries that look really good or watermelon, then I'll definitely have that. Because what I finally learned, I guess I had to relearn, is that calories in is what matters. So instead of saying, oh gosh, I had 60 grams of sugar today, I shouldn't have done that. That's making me fat. If the 60 grams were an additional, on top of the calories you've already eaten and you had a ton of jelly beans, then yeah, you might start to gain weight if you do that on a regular basis. But basically what I'm getting at is I used to fear sugar to a point where if I had any, I felt like I committed a crime. So let's say there's fresh baked brownies in my mom's kitchen when I come home for the holidays and I decide to have one. Now I know, okay, I had one, that's 200 calories. I need to think of it that way versus, oh gosh, it was 27 grams of sugar and I had too much, I'm done for, and then eating the entire thing of brownies. Whereas now I can decide to have one if I want one and then figure in how that affects my day as a whole or my week. Maybe I'm just going to have a lot more calories today than I normally do and I won't have as many tomorrow or the next day. Does that make sense? So don't demonize one food because it has so much sugar. We all know, should we eat Myconix or an apple? We know that an apple is probably the better choice because of how it makes us feel. But you can't say that just sugar will be making you fat. If you're eating an extra 500 calories of sugar a day by adding teaspoons of sugar to everything, then yeah, that might cause weight gain. But sugar in and of itself is not the biggest thing you should worry about when it comes to weight loss. How many calories you're eating is what you should be considering and managing eating less to lose weight. So today I don't just eat candy regularly because I know that if I have some, then sometimes I'm tempted to want more, and I don't need to eat that. But on occasion, if I decide I want to have some Myconix or Sour Patch Kids, then I'll have them, and I'm not going to fear that they make me fat. However, I will take into account how many calories I'm eating so that I understand how that's going to affect my day or how many calories I've had for the week. And I really hope that helps because I can't tell you how many clients recently have come to me and they'd say, oh, I know my problem's sugar. I shouldn't be eating it. I should just eat no sugar. Those carbs are killing me, which we'll get to in point 3. But I hope this clarifies a little bit of your questions on sugar.